For lesson 2, we are going to use our document camera here to work on finding the perimeter of a shape by using a ruler. So you can estimate and then measure the perimeter in standard units, which is inches and centimeters. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here is working through this together. So as you can see, it's asking us to find the perimeter of a cover of a notebook, okay? And so I actually have a smaller notebook that we're going to use here because it fits on my screen, okay? And so step 1 says, estimate the perimeter of a notebook in inches, record your estimate. So we have to decide, okay, how many inches around would this notebook be? So I'm going to estimate 3 and 3, 4 and 4, okay? And when I add those together, I would get 4 and 4 is 8, 3 and 3 is 6. So 8 plus 6 is 14, okay? So my estimate is going to be 14 inches. Then what we're doing is using an inch ruler to measure the length of each side of the notebook to the nearest inch. So what we're going to do is take our ruler on the inch side, and I'm just going to measure the blue part, and it looks like it's about 5 inches, and so the top and bottom should be 5. I was a little bit off on my estimate, wasn't I? And then we want to make sure that we measure this perfectly across here from the top, and it looks like about 7, okay? So what we're going to write down is that we had 2 sides of 5 inches and 2 sides of 7 inches. We know that 5 plus 5 is 10, 7 plus 7 is 14, 10 plus 14 is 24. And so the perimeter of our notebook cover measured to the nearest inch is 24 inches. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and we're actually going to get to measure these squares at the bottom and rectangles. So we have to find the perimeter using an inch ruler to find the length of each side. Okay? So we're using inches, and I'm measuring and lining everything up. So I have 2 inches here, and I have about 1 inch there. So I'd like to write 2 and 1, okay? And then we're going to add all of those together. 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 and 6. So the perimeter is 6 inches. All right. I bet I can estimate this one based off of what I did here. I bet this square is 1 inch all the way around. Let's see. There's 1 inch. Whoops. Go upside down. That's about 1 inch. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So our perimeter here, oh, look at that. I didn't read the directions. I was supposed to use a centimeter ruler. Now, sometimes that happens to us during the day, okay? You just go back and fix your work. So this is the centimeter side. It has a smaller number. So this centimeter here is 3, and I believe that that's going to be the same throughout. 3, yes. So instead of getting 4, we would have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And we know 3 times 4 is 12. So our perimeter here would actually be 12 centimeters. What we're going to do on this next page is we are going to use a ruler to find the perimeter of these 2 shapes, and I can tell you this one is very interesting, okay? And you have to make sure that you're looking at the unit that they're asking you to use, okay? So if I use inches on this side, here I'm going to get about 3 inches. And here I'm going to get about 2 inches. It's not exact, but I want to get about, okay? And we know that these two lines are parallel, so they're both going to be 3. And we know that these two lines are parallel, so they're both going to be 2. We add it together, 5 and 5, and we get 10 inches for our perimeter for this big quadrilateral. This one's going to be a bit more interesting. I'm excited about it. So we're doing centimeters, so I flipped around my ruler. And we're going to have to measure each side because we don't have parallel sides. So for this side, I'm getting 5 centimeters. I'm going to do this other little side right here where I have about 3 centimeters. Up here, I've got about 3 centimeters again. Over here, we've got about 2. And this bottom section is going to be about 1. So now we have to add all of these numbers together to get the perimeter. So 5 times 3, or 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Oh, look, I didn't get this bottom piece. Glad I went around. That one looks like 2 as well. Great. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12, plus 3 more is 15, and plus 1 more is 16 centimeters. So our perimeter is 16 centimeters. The last piece of today's lesson is to use grid paper to draw a figure that has a perimeter of 24 centimeters and then label the length of each side. So we could go crazy and make something really cool and fun like this shape up here, or we could work out the math and make a shape like this. So what I'm thinking, since this is 1 centimeter, I'm thinking of my division strategies. And so a couple strategies I have, I know that 24 divided by 4 is 6. So I know that I created a square that had 4 sides. Each side would have to have 6 centimeters. So I'm going to create that right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can connect it, 6 and 6. So this would be 6, 6, 6, and 6. And if I added it up, it would be 24 centimeters for the perimeter. You can also do it different ways. Okay, I feel like this one is the easiest way, but if you want to go ahead and draw some more fun things, you could definitely do that. If you know that 24 divided by 8 sides is 3, then you could have 8 sides with 3 centimeters, okay? You could do something like that, or you could freehand it, okay? But I wanted to show you what you can do just knowing some division, how you can figure out a shape to create a shape with a perimeter. Thanks for joining me, and please move on to the next lesson in Hyperdot.